Okay, so we're gonna start. I'm playing now. Uh, so I think I'm gonna start in 2000. So yeah, these are my countries. We're starting as Russia, so we have Putin. And to make it easier on myself, I'm gonna add some buffs so I can actually play. And we're gonna turn on historical AI to make it more realistic. And let's start. Okay, so we're gonna take our, our military and we're gonna make an army, and we're I'm gonna turn the music off. And we're gonna invade Chechnya because why not? And for our army, we're gonna assign a guy, and we have all these choices here for our like path as a country. We could be democratic and like pro-American. We could be with Putin. We could be nationalist. And we could be communist and restore the Soviet Union. Now, to be fun, even though I would like to do this, I'm going to become communist and restore the Soviet Union. We should read these too. So, Boris Yeltsin was the first president of the newly created Russian Federation, the successor state to the USSR. From 1991 to 1999, he presided over a huge economic trouble and a disastrous war in Chechnya. And on December 31st, 1999, handed his post over to Prime Minister Vladimir Putin. So that's basically like the history. My screen is gonna... Okay. So to make the game run better, I'm gonna do some like shenanigans with the cheats, but it's not like cheating, it's just making the game run better. Okay, we're good. And for research, we're gonna research advanced computing and this and this. And if you look at the stuff it gives, this gives more research speed, so we can research stuff quicker. All of these do. And they give productivity growth. Which productivity is, this is the economy. Productivity is important because if people are productive, then it makes our like economy better, basically. Like we produce more and we build faster and stuff like that. And this is our GDP per capita, so our whole economy divided by our population. So the average person produces $20,000 of things every year, and like that's their like the average person has $20,000 worth of production and consumption, and our GDP is the the price of everything we produce in a year. So this is taxes. If we lower taxes, if we lower income taxes, then our stability goes up, and it will improve we're more likely to get a better economy. If we lower corporate taxes, we're also more likely to get a better economy, and we receive more foreign investment, and our productivity goes up. Our productivity growth goes up. And this is our debt. We can take out debt or pay off debt. It's good to try and pay off debt because you have to pay interest on it, which affects right now we're in a positive, so we have a surplus. So we could lower taxes or increase social spending, like for education, healthcare, or welfare, or police, or military, or regulation. And this tells us what we need. So right now we're overspending in welfare, overspending in healthcare, overspending in regulations, overspending in education, and overspending in police, but not overspending in, we're underspending in military. And this is our corruption right now. Russia under Putin in the early 2000s has about as bad corruption as you can get. We want to get this down because it's really bad for our country. Like, it makes our army worse, our economy worse, and it just makes everything worse. So we're going to work on getting that down. And we can, if we get money and political power, and we can artificially inflate our economy, which will improve it and give us buffs. But if you do it too much, or you take out too much debt in the process of doing it, or if you do it too quickly and stuff, then the inflation will cause bubbles. Like, the low interest rates will create a bubble, which is basically like, there's a lot of inflation and money being spent, but not a lot of, like, it's hard to describe. But if we do this too quickly, there's a risk that it will like backslide, and there will be a recession or depression or something, or stagnation. And these are our factions as Russia. We can switch these if we get enough political power. We have small and medium business owners, bankers, oil and natural gas owners, the maritime, which is like the sea trade and stuff. We have the military-industrial complex, the Russian armed forces, which is the military. The military-industrial complex is like weapons manufacturers who like lobby to go to war so that they make a bunch of money. And we have trade unions, which is like, just unions. Landowners, farmers, priests. These it says right here, for the priests, you have to have Buddhist, Hindu, Shinto, or Chando as your religion. We have Orthodox Christian because we're Russian. We could have the clergy, but for Islamic ulema, it has to be Sunni, Ibadi, Sufi, or Shia. And foreign jihadis, this is like terrorists. So if you're like a Salafist terrorist group, like ISIS hasn't appeared yet, but you can look at the Taliban, their Salafi jihadism, the Caliphate. Salafism is an ultra-conservative, intolerant, and fundamentalist offshoot of mainstream Sunni Islam. It has grown prominence as Wahhabi Gulf monarchies provided billions in funding for its teachings since the mid-20th century. Salafism has seen particularly violent interactions in the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and ISIS. They seek to conquer all Islamic lands and rule them through their harsh interpretation of Islamic law. They do not recognize other forms of Islam nor minority religions, and will stop at nothing to achieve their goals. Jihadists seek to tear down and destroy the governments of the Islamic world, which they see as a heathen and heretical. They seek to spread their version, okay, their version of Islam by gunpoint. So terrorists, and the whole world hates them, except for Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. So, and Chechnya is nationalist. They're basically a military dictatorship, which we're at war with because they're fighting for independence from Russia. And there's Ukraine, which currently has a pro-Russian government, because this is the early 2000s. And we have Belarus and China, which is communist. And these are, okay, I should show you the different outlooks. So this is politics. We have pro-Western emerging, which is like communist, Russian, Iran, which is the Shiite revolutionary, the IRGC, which is the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. We have, there's communists, there's left-wing radicals, there's reactionaries, there's autocrats, and then there's different Islamic, either terrorists or slightly moderate terrorists. And then there's pro-establishment Salafism, which is like monarchies like in Saudi Arabia, which support terrorist groups but are not, they don't seek to destroy like everything. I don't know, it's hard to explain. And then we have moderate Islamic party. We have left, wait, I'm forgetting what this is. Okay. We have the non-aligned autocrats, the conservatives, the oligarchs, the libertarians, the Greens, the Social Democrats, and the communists, the non-aligned communists. And we have nationalists, fascists, the military, and monarchists. And up here we have pro-Western autocrats, which is like dictatorships that are friendly to the U.S. And we have the pro-Western conservatives, the pro-Western liberals, and the pro-Western social democrats. So, yeah. And here are our laws. Government expenditures are, this is regulation, military spending, police spending, education, healthcare, welfare. This is our trade, so we can have a closed economy, a globalized trade economy, or a consumption-based economy, which, yeah. There are a lot of benefits to a globalized trade economy. We have women in the military. We could have we could not let women in the military, which grants you stability. You could have, if you have a volunteer service, you get less manpower, which is needed for military, but you get better quality. So you'll see like division organization goes up, which is like, it helps your division's organization improves like how well it does in combat. And if you have mandatory service, the attack goes down, defense goes down, division organization goes down, recovery rate goes down. So you don't want this. And our migration laws, we can have open borders, which lets in a lot of immigration, but it makes it so our ideology could be shifted to one of the other ones. Or you could have closed borders, which means you barely get any immigration, but you can be more nationalist and your ideology, drift defense, is better. So it's very, it sounds complicated, I'm sure. This is our international investment. We can invest into other countries if we have money. For example, like if I take out debt and then if I invest in infrastructure over here, I now have about $8 billion more dollars invested abroad. And we can see here in decisions that it's building. And once it's built, we have that permanently. And we see here international investments. We get a very tiny return on investment. So if you invest a bunch, then it gives you more income. And it also gives you more influence over the country, and influence allows you to exploit other countries. And these are decisions for, this is for buying nuclear reactor material. These are for like the economy and your internal factions. If their opinion of you is good, you get buffs. If they don't like you, then you get debuffs. So you want them to like you. These are like election decisions. I guess since we're gonna go communist, we should do that. These are our, we could, if we had money, which we don't right now, we could invest into more resources, extract more resources. This is cybersecurity, so we won't get like hacked by other countries. And yeah, that's basically it. I guess I'll read the things too. The United States Naval Command has reported that a destroyer USS Cole was attacked by the Al-Qaeda network, killing 17 American servicemen. American intelligence reports points to the government of Sudan as a possible supporter of the two attackers. That Sudan is a supporter of terrorism. They have very high corruption. They're moderate Islam. And they're at war with the Sudan People's Liberation, which is non-aligned autocrat. It's more of a difference between religion. If you look there, South Sudan is Christian, Sudan is Sunni Islam. So it's more of a Christianity versus Islam thing, because Sudan was attacking churches and deporting Christians and stuff. So Al-Qaeda attacked an American naval vessel. Yeah. Okay, so we finished our thing. Yeltsin's legacy. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, the drunkard Yeltsin turned out to be the president of Russia, who could not effectively lead the country. The collapse of the USSR, the dissolution of the Supreme Council, the Chechen campaigns, loans for shares, auctions, the denomination of and default of 1998. All this fell on the shoulders of the Russian people and crushed their hopes of a brighter future. Russia has recently chosen a president with whom it will enter a third millennium. After the difficult 90s, there was a demand in the country for a solid and effective leader. There was hopes that after the reforms, an improvement in life would finally come. That elementary order will be put in place, and it was on Putin, who rapidly gained popularity as prime minister and acting president. These people's hopes were pinned in the 90s after the shooting of the White House. Wait, what? After the shooting of the White House, as well as numerous disagreements in Russian society, a politician came to power who was able to consolidate all the warring parties and began to create a new political system. What will come of it? Let's see how he does. So that's just basically saying, after the Soviet Union collapsed, there was democratic and free market reforms, which ended disastrously because right after you switch from communism to free market capitalism, there's like a shock to the economy with for the first few years, there was a recession. So, yeah, they implemented Putin. So yeah, we're no longer the Soviet Union. It's been 9 years into the Russian Federation. and we're invading Chechnya right now. These little bubble things, if they're green, show that we're winning a battle. If they're red, show we're losing a battle. And the arrow they're pointing in shows whether we're attacking or we're defending. Like right now here, we're attacking and winning. Oof. My computer is struggling. Also, you can see with the little hats, those little hats that are jumping are the units that we're destroying. If we go here, we can see the casualties. We've lost 2,000 men. They've lost 17,000. And we're done. This is a peace conference. This is like how we decide what to do. We have a score of 60. We could either take Chechnya and integrate it into Russia. We could puppet them, which gives them quote-unquote independence, but we still control them. We could change their government to make their ideology align with ours, but we're just going to take it. And for funsy onesies, we're going to lower taxes to improve our economy, and also because we don't need it. And it gives us stability. And we're going to save up political power to lower corruption. And we should build things. We're going to build infrastructure because it lets us build faster, which will be good. And we can build office sectors, civilian industry, commercialized agriculture, which is like farms. Oh, and energy also needs to be taken into account. We could produce energy through nuclear power, solar and wind, or coal power plants, which nuclear and solar and wind don't produce pollution, but nuclear is a lot more efficient. It just takes super long to build, and there's a lot of research involved in getting it to work properly and stuff like that. But it's still super beneficial in the long run. Yeah. Right now, we should get rid of some of our army, because that lowers how much we're spending on military. And we want to save as much money as possible, because we need to pay off our debt. And we could invade Ukraine in the future, to be historically accurate, but I'm not very good at this game. And I don't want my computer to crash, and it's very hard to fight a war in this game without destroying your country, basically, or failing miserably. Like real life. Ooh, okay, this is good. So because I cut taxes, we have increased consumer confidence, which recent conditions within the Russian economy has shown the consumer that now is the perfect time to spend money and make investments. People are buying up goods like they never have before. So we've replaced recession with stagnation in our economy. So we went from having lower stability, less construction speed, less productivity, and less migration. Now we have 3% more stability, 10% more construction, 1.5 more productivity growth, and 10% more migration. So that was really good for our economy, and it was just, and we take in more in taxes. It was just because I lowered taxes. So we got really lucky. Normally, look, you can see here, that didn't cost us anything other than the lowering taxes. Normally, if you wanted to do this artificially, you would have to spend $141 billion, and you would need 387 political power, which isn't that hard to get, but it does take a while. So we got lucky by just getting a better economy because we lowered income and corporate taxes. And we can look at our relations with the rest of the world. We're slightly friendly with China, but the United States doesn't like us very much, nor does France or the UK, or Germany kind of likes us. None of these Western countries like us, except for Canada. But yeah. Ukraine likes us, Belarus likes us. So, yeah. But yeah, we should also, other than this, there's also decisions you can make with the military and economy. We should, before doing anything, probably improve the economy. Because we're struggling. We have stagnation. Let's lower taxes more. We have stagnation, really high corruption. We have really bad construction speed, really bad research speed. And we have a debt that is 39% of our GDP. So that's not good. 39% of what our entire economy makes in a year, or in a third of a year. Yeah, a third of what our entire economy makes in a year is just the debt alone. But we can pay it off. It's all good. We'll be fine. Let's lower taxes again. Low taxes, woo! Very Russian of me to lower taxes. Definitely. We all know the Russians are the great champions of more economic freedom. Definitely. Oh, we're having elections. So, just to have some shenanigans to make this move along quicker, I gave myself some political power so that I can increase the opinion of the communists because I want them to win the election. Right here, you can influence politics. For 100 political power, you could increase any party that you want. I just gave myself some political power and made the communists more popular because I want to restore the Soviet Union. For shits and giggles. Okay. It's really fun to play though. Probably not that fun to watch me play it, but it is fun to play. Because like economics is interesting and stuff, and it's satisfying to like make the country do better. You see how long these are taking to build? God. Our stability is doing pretty good. We have low taxes. Our debt is being paid off. Hey, okay, so the communists are in power. I want to show you this. The ideologies. We have communism, socialism, conservatism, liberalism, autocracy, monarchy, and fundamentalism. The communists want they want state ownership of the means of production. They want to make other countries communist, and you can do 5-year plans and stuff. Socialists support welfare, economic intervention by the state. They don't support war. The conservatives support like keeping things the way they are. You get stability, you get war support or compliance. Um, for I like the liberals the best because you get a lot of benefits from like free market capitalism, which you either get from the Western liberals or you get from the libertarians. You get to make high risk investments, which gives you extra return on investment from these right here. Or you, and also you get, it costs less money, or yeah, it costs less money and political power to improve the economy. So it would take less political power and cost less money. And business friendly, you get more tax revenue from building these. So, and then I guess I could look at these too. Cronyism, you get more political power per corruption level that you have, but it's still not beneficial, and in my opinion. You get this, which gets you tax revenue from civilian industries. You get this, which gives you army advisor This isn't very good. I think the best ones are liberals or conservatives or socialists, but not these other four. Monarchists get cost to change corruption is less, cost to change internal factions is less. You get more defense and attack on core territory. You get more tax revenue from your population. And these are like the debuffs. So you have incompatible economies, so foreign investment costs more. Socialists, foreign influence defense, so other countries can influence you easier. For this, your foreign influence goes down because you care more about your own country before others. For liberals, you're anti-military, so it's you produce less naval and army like supplies. This you have autocrats, army of yes men, which is like they don't go against you, so they sort of do whatever they're told, so they get less experience. And monarchist is less stability because monarchy isn't popular in the 21st century. And this you get international pariah, which means other countries hate you and won't buy you. Other countries don't buy your resources because you're terrorists. This, you get Sharia law, so daily outlook support, so more Salafism. Foreign fighters, so you can recruit more foreign jihadists. National liberation movements, you can send volunteers to other countries at war easier. And you can send military aid easier and send more volunteers. So, yeah. And now that these guys are in charge, now that we have that, we're gonna start going down the Soviet path. And this, I should read these. No, you're not allowed to question us. Gennady Zyuganov, I'm probably going to pronounce these horribly, is the leader of the Communist Party of the Russian Federation since 1993, 1939, it's a bit outdated. In 1996, Zyuganov had been the favorite to win the presidential election against Boris Yeltsin, but then floundered the early lead and lost in the second round. God, my reading is horrible. With 40.7% of the vote versus Yeltsin's 54.4%. Politically, Zyuganov holds positions of left-wing nationalism. And then we could choose between these, which would be Gorbachev, which is like reformist communism, not as extreme like Stalinists. Or we could get Stalinism. I guess I could read these when we get to it. But for now, we're gonna lower taxes. Which I know lowering taxes as a communist country is kind of wild, but we want the economic benefits. Ah, yes, as Marx once said, we we must lower taxes on the corporations. Karl Marx would have loved private property. Free market capitalism, baby. We're Marxists. Communists elected in Russia. During the recent change of power in Russia, the Communist Party came into power, which announced a radical shift in the vector of power and a new desire for the socialist order in Russia. Now, in the ranks of the new government in Russia, there are people who are ready to turn history of Russia 360 degrees back. New USSR? Hell yeah, brother. Make Russia great again, am I right? It does feel so weird to lower taxes and pay off debt as a communist country. And to have Russian entrepreneurs, Russian energy enterprises. This part's not inaccurate. Okay. So, to keep it fun, I think... Okay. We could form a coalition of nationalist patriots and communists who help us reunite the Soviet Union on a more solid and patriotic ground. So this will be nationalist. Or we could do Gorbachev, which is pro-Western. Oh god. Mikhail Gorbachev's reforms were hijacked by closet capitalists who were hell-bent on the destruction of the communist project. We should reinstate his reforms and retain a mixed market economy in order to become a bastion of 21st century communism. Or, the Communist Party of the Russian Federation knows best in all spheres which can relate to the state. If other people get out of the way, we can get to work on building a true communist utopia, and this time we will succeed. Real communism hasn't been tried yet. If everyone would have just towed the party line. So we're going with this one because it's the most based. It's killing everyone and seizing their property. We're gonna cause a second Ukrainian Holodomor. We're gonna seize their property and kill successful farmers. Let's go, boys. Are we about to be based Soviet Union? And we're still paying off our massive debt. This stuff isn't really important, so I don't bother reading it because it would take forever. Okay. Communist purges, oh god. Okay. Empower the Communist Party. It has only been 10 years since capitalism was introduced, but a political establishment is already formed and it must be eliminated, destroyed, surgically removed, like a malignant tumor. The first step to total party dominance is to seize power in local and regional elections. Wild. Okay, pay off some of our debt. And lower taxes. Yes, a great staple of great communist countries. Low taxes and low regulations. Free trade is a pinnacle of Marxism. Yes, fiscal conservatism. A very Stalinist idea. Actually, that's not entirely wrong. They weren't exactly fans of welfare. I mean, kind of depends on how you look at it. Lower taxes. There's not much to commentate on, so My bad if I get boring or quiet. I'm just trying to bring back glorious communist state in Russia. Based much? The Kursk submarine disaster. The Kursk submarine was a naval incident 75 kilometers from Kola Peninsula, Russia. The Russia Oscar-class submarine K-141 Kursk suffered a faulty weld on a 6B5-76 practice torpedo, which caused a peroxide explosion and the subsequent detonation of at least 5 torpedo warheads. The Russian naval vessel greatly underestimated the situation and declined to international help on the basis of crude allegations that NATO might be involved with sinking. Although many of the crew members survived the initial explosions, which were registered by seismographs in the U.S. state of Alaska, and were trapped under the sea, the slow and ineffective Russian response ultimately led to the death of 118 sailors. Wow. Okay. We're good though. We're good. We're lowering taxes again? Okay. The Zyuganev Constitution. It is time that we throw out the capital's constitution written after 1991. We must replace it with a new document that enshrines the political and economic rights and freedoms of Soviet citizens that those of the rest do not have. West do not. Okay. We get more stability and more communist support. And we're gonna pay off some of our debt and lower taxes again. Our economy is doing great. We have stagnation. We only have a 35% GDP debt ratio. We only have crippling corruption. It's so bad. It's not as bad as if you asked me to play North Korea. Let's take a look over here, shall we? Oh, they upped it. It would have paralyzing corruption and economic depression, but right now we're the same as North Korea, which is not where you want to be. Damn, wait, what? Why is North Korea actually doing kind of good? Okay, ignore that. Usually they're not. So. Lower taxes. We're doing so good right now, though. We're preparing for a war with Ukraine in 20 years. Oops. I feel like this is going to be boring to watch, but I sort of like the idea of showing you all this stuff, even if it is kind of complicated and boring. So yeah. You know. Just for funsy onesies. Just for fun. Just to do something. Just to prove Putin wrong. Just to be that guy. We're invading Ukraine. And this a time. This a time? Did I just say this a time? And this time, we're going to win. Ooh. Ooh. Conservative communism? Damn. This is horrifying. There's so much red. Look what I could have done. I should have asked you if you wanted me to go Putin, communism, or capitalism. Because look what we're missing out on. Reduction of taxes on small businesses, economic liberalism, Russian liberalism, 500 days program, free speech. Look at all this stuff we missed out on because You wanted me to be communist. I'm just kidding. I did this decision on my own. But look at this. Look at this. Fight international capitalists, weaken the banks, nationalize foreign business, which is going to get us embargoed. Ban private land ownership, increase the minimum wage, communist tax plan. Oh god, no. All this work to lower corporate taxes, and this is going to raise it by 10. And get us hated by the oligarchs. Anti-gay people. Condemn globalism, so we're going to be isolationist. That's not good for your economy. This is so stupid. This, like, anyone with basic understanding of anything recognizes why this is so stupid. But anyone who's read Marx sees that these are all Marxist principles. So let's read this. The fall of communism in 1991 was a grave embarrassment to the communist cause. Those within the Communist Party who were responsible for the dissolution of 1991 must be weeded out by the government. So we're doing a second purge of Democrats. And this is Democrats in the pure meaning of the word. Not like American Democrats. So we're gonna get rid of all the Gorbachev supporters. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Look how successful we are. Look how easy this is. No resistance whatsoever. I wonder why. I definitely didn't delete all Ukrainian troops. Definitely not. We're almost there. Onwards, brothers. Onwards. Onwards. Ukraine's having flashbacks right now, being invaded by the Soviet Union. Oh god. Poor Ukraine. They had to fight multiple wars, multiple genocides. Poor guys. Where is it? Where's my decision to change the flag? Why can't I change it to the Soviet flag? Alright, whatever. Communism. We're spreading communism like it's a cancer. Spread the revolution at gunpoint. Communism, an ideology so good it has to be enforced at gunpoint. Re-Stalinization, dear God. Russia should once again render honor to Stalin for his role in building socialism and saving human civilization from the Euro-fascist plague. Today, the greatness of Stalin's era is self-evident even to the most furious haters. We will liberate the whole world. Dear Mother of God. Oh, God. Fuck. Why did I do this to myself? We're gonna lower taxes just to spite his little commie face. And now we're in a deficit, so we're gonna rack up some debt because we lowered taxes. Oh, also, we have no corporate tax, which is very, very socialist of us. Poor Ukraine. They worked so hard to get independence, and we just went right back to puppeting them. Look, the KPU. Damn. Crane is our puppet once again. Okay. I'm not sure if I should send this to you yet. Let me check how long I've been streaming. Oh, nearly an hour. I think this is good for now maybe. I'm not sure. No, I'll keep streaming, but I'm gonna text you back really quick because you just texted me. I feel like this is gonna be boring, but part of me really hopes you like it at the same time. I miss you, baby, but I know it'll be so worth it. Aw, I love you so, so much. I love you more than anything in the world. Okay. I love you so much. I'm gonna stop now, though. And I'm gonna send this to you. Mwah.